to another Vibrant Lady Talk series. Today on the Vibrant Lady Talk series, we will be talking about the mental health of the man, the other gender. Of course, they have said that they are not cared for. And today I have the program's manager of Beat FM, Alan Bright, to, help us talk about or to disagree or agree if men are actually cared for.
Disagree
Alan.
or agree? Oh, right, okay.
Yes, you have to agree or disagree.
It's great to be here, by the way.
You're
I've been
welcome.
a silent fan for a while.
Aww.
It's nice. So I want to start this with this caveat first for people, because I've been looking at your comment section for a while since you've been talking about these things. First of all, I appreciate every single one of you out there. I appreciate women. I love women very, very much, particularly.
Thank you.
So when I say some things I'm going to say today, know that I am talking for men, because a lot of people are going to chip in. Yeah, but women. But when women did, it's not.
What's true?
But that's the thing. The moment a man says anything about himself, somehow it becomes about a woman.
Okay.
And
So
it's never
for
been
today,
fair.
yeah.
So for today, for the purpose of this conversation, let's stay on topic, even in the comments, and talk just about men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Men strictly about men.
When you have conversations about women, we'll chip in with you guys as well.
Okay.
So it's like I said, men from birth, essentially, even if you're rich, you could be rich. I was fortunate enough to have been born
Rich.
rich, but into a well-to-do family.
Okay.
For years, I was made to kind of downplay that part of my life because it made people uncomfortable. I went to schools where there were mixed families. I went to schools where there were poor families as well. And as a kid, you can't quite understand that some things that are normal to you are not normal to everybody. But aside from that, poor, middle class, rich, as a man, once you drop, there are expectations of you.
Okay.
Like, it's drummed into your head that, at some point you're going to be successful. At some point you're going to need to take care of these people. At some point you need to do this. At some point you need to do that. At some point you need to do that. So it's people constantly telling you how to be a man, even women.
Okay, women are telling men how to be men.
Even
I think they've been men before.
Exactly. But they will never grasp what it is, because as much as I can agree that we are equal, we are not the same. Men and women.
Are men and women equal?
To some degree, we can essentially do most of the same things.
Okay.
When it comes down to that sphere of, if we can both do these things, then the best person should win kind of things, we can be equal, yeah. But in certain senses, there are things you can do, I can do. And there are things I can do that you
I
can
cannot do, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So when it comes to men, people always know, you're always expected to be strong, always expected to be
A man
wise.
should be strong now.
You see, there's that, boy.
Yeah.
How even a wall cracks at some point. Okay. You need to reinforce it. How do you stay strong if nobody's trying to help you stay strong?
Wow.
You see, there's that. So from an early age, people will tell you the most common one, I guess. And that affected me a lot because as a young person, that was the way I used to express anger. I've had anger issues for a long time, even since I was a kid. I identified it, but I knew how to, control it. But I used to cry.
And they tell you men are not supposed to cry.
Men are not supposed to cry. Are you not a man? Why are you crying? But that's how I wanted to express my anger. So over the years, it's not just me. People are like that. Okay. I've seen somebody get into a fight with somebody else and he was crying, and trust me, by the time he was done, he had emptied out his soul into. That's the thing. It usually gets to that point with men. We don't have easy outlets to just let go of our frustrations or sadness or fears. We're told we're not to be afraid. You're told from an early age, if there's a crisis here, women and children first, then you. See, in that case, it's a plus if you're a boy and a child because you go. But if you're a man, you wait.
And die first.
When it comes to war and conscription and everything, they don't draft women. Have you heard the feminists complain about that?
Oh, yeah.
No, but you as a young man from 18 and above, you know that if there's a crisis, they're going to come knocking at your door one day if they need you, and you have to go, or you face the law. Women don't have that. Nobody's fighting for that right for them to equally draft women.
I think it's the fact that from inception it's been said it's a man's word.
By who? They like to say patriarchy, but I like to notice that a lot of these things that they say is patriarchy doesn't favor the man at all. What does me only going to war favor me? What does me being the last person to be evacuated, even if I was at the lifeboat, they wouldn't let me out, right? Why am I the sacrifice? You see reporting, you've been a reporter. You see when they're reporting wars, 200 women killed, 50 children injured, and
that's all that matters.
Let's not count the thousands of guys that are going down every day. We are made to feel that we have to be strong, we have to always be available, always be reliable, but we are still expendable. As a girl growing up, you have a value. Better still if you're beautiful.
Okay.
If you're intelligent, your value goes up. So you have value for just your natural attributes. As a man, you are only valuable when you provide something, when you do something. Even as a child, your parents, you'll say, okay, they were taking care of the boy, they were treating him like that. It's because they're preparing him to grow up to become something of value. You're not intrinsically valuable just by being there. So guys don't get that petting, guys don't get that love. Some of them do, a few do, but most don't. So you go through life. For me now, it was at that point where I went to a federal school. That's the worst place to go if you cry when you're angry, you know. And
they will laugh at you.
Oh yeah.
Your fellow men will still laugh at you.
Oh yeah. There was a lot of that. Fortunately for me, I had friends who would back me up. You know, there were still the ones that would still tease you and back you up. I had the ones that would always back you up, right? So those kind of things make men feel like it is wrong to be afraid. It is wrong to fail.
To have emotions.
It is wrong to have emotions. You shouldn't be shy. You shouldn't be sad. You shouldn't be any of these things. Be a man. You constantly hear people tell you, a woman is telling you be a man. A child is telling you, you know, a man. Man. But none of them know what it is. To be a man. To be a man is to wake up and intrinsically know that from the beginning to the end of that day, you're not likely to have anybody ask you how you are.
It's always give me.
It's always, why haven't you done this? Where is this? When are you bringing this? This, that. You have to constantly be strong. You also have to constantly be moving. You're sick. You're a man now. That kind of thing. So when men feel sad, feel afraid and all of that, they don't know how to express it. They don't know who to express it to. You express it to a woman, wahala. Now, I'm not saying all women, yeah? Like I said, I love me the ladies, but I've had women that I trust very much, that are close to me, that still did this very thing. Women can weaponize your sadness and your issues. If you are having an issue with a man, you guys are arguing. If you say something that upsets that guy, he can get agitated, it could get physical, you know, but there will be an expression like that. I guess with women, when they see that they can't physically challenge a man like that, they go for the soul. I'm for real.
The women.
So like, it could be something very random, like you just piss them off minorly, and they'll just use that thing you reveal to them in confidence in a moment of vulnerability, and be like, after all, that's why you this, or after all, that's why this happened to you. Just like that.
Not caring how you feel.
Okay. Not really thinking how you feel. Because at that moment, you know, it's a purpose. It's to make you feel bad. But you don't understand how bad a man would now feel. And he's now not allowed to express how bad he feels. He can't hit you. I don't think about that as an option in any way, unless you are struck and you defend yourself. Quality, right? But essentially, he can't express it like that physically. He could do that with another man, but he can't do it with a woman. So he's powerless. So in a fell swoop, you've crushed the person and taken his power to respond to that situation.
And you think that this is not changing anytime soon, right? Because I mean, men are not even giving their accolades at the end of the day.
True. It's a gradual process. I see recently, like Father's Days will come, and you have people celebrating women. You all have like 25 Mother's Days a year. Yeah. Why can't men just have one day?
And the one day, so many women will still claim to be men.
But you're not.
That's because, I mean, so many women think that there are many men who are not responsible.
That is true. That is very, very true. That is because a lot of them can't handle the pressure.
Okay. So when a man can't handle the pressure, how else should he be treated? Because, I mean, these are basic things. A man impregnates a woman and then he runs away and the woman is left to cater for the kids, provide and do everything. And is it going to be expected to be celebrated on
no,
the
that's a
Day?
terrible thing to do. No,
So
that's a different case.
I think that's where that.
But in that kind of case, then if you have a child that the father is not in the picture. The child has a father figure. You have an uncle. You might have a dad yourself. Celebrate that person for being the man in the child's life. You will never be the man in the child's life, in any child's life. So having a father figure is not a bad thing, because women know certain things, men know certain things. One thing I know for a fact is women don't quite know how to handle men when they are sad. I didn't say angry, I said sad.
Okay.
Women don't quite know. Most men, when they are sad, they seek that quiet place. For me, when I was growing up, it was my room. At some point, it became my car. When you get back home, you sit in that car for a while. Think about how many men, I'm sure a lot of guys are thinking about it now. Think about how many men get home and just spend like 5-10 minutes in their car, just sitting down, decompressing, letting everything out. And then they come in and embrace the world like that.
Okay. So I also think that men are not being expressive enough because of that foundation. Because you find, just like you're saying, you're hot or something. You cannot come to tell a woman that, okay, I'm having difficulties at work, I'm having challenges here and there. You do not want to do that because you think you've been given the foundation where you are not expected to look like a weakling for a second.
And then most of the time when you do express it, like I said, it will be weaponized. It's not a thing men do. Men don't do that thing to their fellow men. If you do that, they'll say you're a woman. Weaponizing somebody's grief, weaponizing somebody's trauma. No, it's a thing women do well. Yeah. So with guys now, you come home after a long day. With women now, I noticed a lot. A woman sees a guy. It could be a husband. It could be a boyfriend. Now, I can talk about marriages because I've observed a lot. I'm mature enough. So for those of you who say he's not married, you're not an engineer, but you know when the road is bad.
Actually.
Exactly. So I don't have to be married to see certain things. And I'm a quiet person by nature. So people like me, we like to observe. So I've observed for a while. A man is sad, a woman comes, hey, what's wrong with you? It's okay. She's stumped from there. She doesn't know what next to do. And it starts to agitate her.
That's because a woman would naturally talk, right?
But you're not a man. So yeah, exactly. You're a woman. He's a man.
You guys are even making it difficult sometimes.
Do you know the easiest thing you can do for a man at that time?
Is what? Walk away and leave him.
Give him peace.
Now that give him peace is what a woman may not understand.
Exactly.
She'll feel like he's ignoring
because
her.
Growing up, the women themselves, you see where I'm coming with this, the conditioning is not just for the men. The women themselves are also conditioned to be taken care of and for their feelings to be understood and understand. They don't understand. They were never conditioned or taught how to take care of a sad man. An angry man is a different thing from a sad man. Feelings of sadness, they go deep, right? To get somebody to express how they feel is tough sometimes. Sometimes they don't want to express it. Sometimes they just want to just let it go.
Imagine you are married and then your wife walks up to you to be like, baby, what's wrong with you? And then you keep silent. You're not saying leave me. You're not saying I don't want to talk.
No, that's an extreme. At least respond. But read the room as well. Read the body language. Sometimes just sit down there with him. Don't say anything the same way he's not saying anything.
That's a woman.
That's the thing. So the women are not now taking the extra steps to try and understand the men. So many studies have been done. So many movements. Everything is geared towards the woman. From the woman child, from young girls. What happens to the boy child?
Well, you're becoming
it's gradually. No, I'm not the first advocate. People have started advocating gradually.
Up, yes.
But the boy child has been forgotten for so long. So men don't feel any value, especially with the way society is, with social media and everything. The pressure is worse. So if you don't have that backbone, for men, the best backbone is having friends. Close guys like you and all that. And you see that most of the time, when a man is sad, another man knows how to make him feel better. And they would go through all of that without having to share what the issue is. Okay. He can just take his mind off it, talk about something else, do anything else, allow the person. Women don't have that patience. They want you to tell them how you feel. They want you to express and all that. And it doesn't work that way. Sometimes be his peace.
This be his peace.
Be his peace. Because the world is not giving the man peace. So the place where he should get peace is at home or with the person that he cares for, his girlfriend, his significant other. That should be his peace. So if you're facing calamity outside, you're facing calamity at home.
Your mental health.
Boom. And nobody cares. A lot of people I know who are about my age are having issues with their health. These are issues that people who are about 50, 60 were having issues with when we were younger.
Okay.
I know 2 or 3 people in the past year who are younger than me that have died from blood pressure related issues, anxiety related issues. The pressure just comes on, and you see them and you don't quite get it. Actually. Because they're men, they won't let you see something is wrong.
And then it eats them up.
It eats them up on the inside. And then c'est fini. And then you have people saying so many things about the person, except maybe he could have been stressed. Maybe he just didn't find the right channel for it. I was surprised when I went for a checkup. You know, I do these regularly and everything. And I was told that my blood pressure was high for my age. And I'm like, oh, wow. You know, and that also coincided with my weight. So I had to start working on that. Now, the weight and everything started when I was younger. I was skinny growing up for most of my life. And I always loved professional wrestling. Okay. I loved boxing, martial arts. And you see those guys, right? You see the bodies and all that. I always wanted to be one of them, like that. So I started working out from a long, early age. I worked out, I got to a point, and I didn't have it in me anymore. And then I would watch TV and I'd be like, oh, I can do it. And you work out again. So gradually I started to work out, you need to eat. So I was eating more to build up more muscle, but working out less. So at some point it was a weird mixture of muscle and fats, you know, and it was becoming difficult to do my job. I need to speak a lot and everything. So I had to lose the weight. You lose the weight and then people start to say ridiculous things. A woman loses weight. Oh, you're looking trim. Oh, that's nice and everything. A man loses weight. Oh boy, you're sick. You know, well. You know, what's going on? Even women will say that. A ridiculous thing happened the other day. I met a lady on the road while I was buying suya. And, you know, she was like, oh my Lord, you lost so much weight and everything. This person had lost weight as well and everything. She's like, you lost so much weight. Have you been okay? I was like, yeah, I'm okay. I just, you know, switched up my workout. I don't lift weights anymore. I do calisthenics, push-ups, chin-ups, things like that, body weight exercises. And she's like, oh, okay, that's nice. I'm like, yeah, you. What's going on? You've lost some weight too. Oh, yeah, I'm watching my figure.
Oh, well.
Oh, wow.
Like, I think I quite agree with you. I think
so.
The word,
even when men even make personal changes to their lives, it's still met with some level of negativity from men and women, you know, both. Yeah. You know, so the amount of negativity the average man has to go through every day, essentially alone, is something that some people have started to take notice of. They've started to understand that, okay, we can't just keep saying men are this, men are that, men are this, men are that. Why are some of them like this? And when they started asking these questions, they started to actually look deeper and they started to find out these things. A lot of people carry so much weight.
A lot of men.
You know that as you are growing up, you're not growing up to be taken care of at all.
Well,
your primary purpose is to take care of everybody else.
Is that how a man is trained?
That's how society trains most men now.
Wow.
Yeah. You're not to expect anything special. How many men get birthday gifts?
Aww.
For real. I'm one of the few because, you know, in my family it's been a tradition and I've been fortunate enough to meet people who gift. But a lot of people I know don't. They don't get gifts. To be the ones they give. Yeah. You don't get anything. How many times do men get things like that? You know?
Even Father's Day.
Even Father's Day, just once.
Let me help you.
Just once. You know, you have all these things, but you still do all of that. So you're taking care of your immediate family, taking care of your extended family, taking care of all of these people till the day you go. You are growing up for responsibility. Right? I've said this before. Some people are going to come for me. I get it. As a woman, I cannot think of any better way to live than for somebody to just be taking care of me at home. Like, don't go to work, stay at home, darling, raise the kids, I'll be giving you money, I'll take care of you. La vida. But they make it seem like it's punishment of some sort. Like it's a bad thing. They want to go out there and experience the world. They've gone out there, they've experienced it. How many female bricklayers do you see? How many female truck drivers? Few. They're going only after the juicy jobs. Because they still feel that only men should do the dirty jobs.
But it's a man's word.
Oh, wow. Why is it? It's a woman that coined that. People keep saying that it's men that run the world. I guarantee you, yeah, every man in this world has a woman that humbles him. Oh, yeah. Usually it could be a wife, it could be a daughter, it could be a sister, it could be a cousin. There's a woman. Women have power. Like unreal power. A lot of them have realized that power and are using it to their advantage. They're not even talking to the ones who are making noise. Right? Female friends. Growing up, I regret so many chances I had to have great female friends because I tried relationships with them. And when it doesn't work, it makes things awkward. Those people could do great things for you. You know, they could introduce you to great people. I saw this on a website somewhere too, and people were making fun of the person that said it. That why would I need a woman to connect me? Why not? A connection is a connection. Dios mío. But that's the kind of machismo that most men have.
So you're clearly stating it out there that it's not a man's world. Women are more powerful than men.
I wouldn't say that directly, but I say women have more power than most people think.
Okay.
They do. They influence so many more things than most people think. But they're selective in where they go.
So you're thinking that a man should be pampered more, a man should be taken care of more.
Everybody should be taken care of more.
Not just leaving the meal and food.
Yeah.
Folks there.
Everybody should be taken care of more. You try this now. Go on the street, look for maybe 5 or 6 random guys, men, and give them something and say, I appreciate you as a man, take this thing. 2 or 3 of them will cry.
Aww.
Because
we should try this.
It's a foreign concept. Middle class people can do it, maybe. Rich people could do it, maybe. Think about the poor people. Apart from that first year birthday that your parents might struggle for to give you, Shazam. There's like nothing else you don't expect. The daughter might get a few nice things every once in a while, but they're just waiting for you to be strong enough to go and start work. In some cases, the girls too. So in the end, it all boils back to how useful are you
as a man?
As a man. If you have no use, you have no value.
Wow.
It's simple. It's not saying that you should be useless, but your entire existence shouldn't be hinged on just doing stuff. It shouldn't. You see, a lot of times, even with richer families, especially I saw that a lot growing up, you see the man send the children and the wife on vacation, he won't go.
He's working for the money. Oh, wow. The money to be spent on the vacation.
And then when he has a heart attack at 45.
Okay, I think you're giving a deeper revelation about what a man goes through that we do not recognize.
Because most men won't say it, you know.
I like how you're talking about it.
Most men won't say it. Because of the kind of people I've been fortunate enough to interact with, especially with my job, radio and everything. You talk to a lot of people, you have great conversations, and I began to understand that, you know, people need to be true to themselves. From everything from how you dress to how you speak to people to where you go, you need to be true to yourself. I like practical clothing. I don't like suits. I can't stand traditional for some reason. I don't know, except for certain outfits and everything. Because I'm a practical person. I do a lot of things that go around. For a while, people will be like, oh no, why are you wearing tracksuits? Why are you wearing t-shirts? And I'll feel somehow. But now, no. It's why you wear? Because it's what I want to wear. I feel comfortable in it. We're in a tropical climate, you know. It's hot. You know, why would I not want to wear a suit? To the person who wants to wear the suit, flex. You know. So another thing is that men are often told what their identity should be.
Okay.
You know, right down to what you should wear. You know, you're wearing a pink shirt now.
A man shouldn't be wearing pink shirt.
That's what we were told for so long. But now people are wearing pink shirts confidently. Even though some people will still make comments about you in your pink shirt. You know, that kind of thing. So the problem is, you're now, as a man, you're facing negativity from women. Say that, oh, men oppress and everything. Men oppress men too. You know, you say that, oh, you're scared to walk on the street at night because you're scared you'll be harassed. Statistics show that men are killed more in altercations than women. Your attacker could just simply attack you first physically, just because they're afraid of what you could do as a man and hurt you, even though you might have just given up your wallet anyway. You know, worked at a place once. They said, no, women shouldn't work at night. It should be only the guys. And I said to them, yo, a bullet is unisex, yo. Like, it's not going to stop. I'll be like, oh, no, this is a woman. Let me go back to the gun. Hey, dear shooter, that's a woman. You know, that's a man. We can get hurt just like women. We can be targets. Why is it okay for us to be pushed out there? And nobody says anything? Why are we the ones that should be sacrificed? Why are we the ones that always, when trouble comes, we are sent to the front lines of everything going down? And then nobody asks us how we are. When you say how you feel, somebody says something stupid. And then you won't say anything again. Most men can't say how they feel anymore because they've said how they feel before and it came back to bite them.
They were ridiculed.
They were ridiculed for it. Like I said, growing up as a person, my trigger, like when I get angry, really, really angry, is I cry.
And you were laughed at.
And you be laughed at.
But why should a man cry?
Really.
I mean, that's...
But why not? Even as an adult man now,
yeah,
something happens to you, you're not expected to cry.
You're not even expected
you lose your family member. You can't. Why?
Oh.
It's an expression of how you are feeling at the moment. It doesn't choose gender. It's how you feel at the moment. It's how you want to express yourself, but you're not allowed to because of your gender.
So are you thinking that there's a whole lot of responsibilities on a man, on a male child, generally?
Too much from the beginning. Like I said, a lot of responsibilities, a lot of expectations, a lot of people telling you what you are, telling you who you are, telling you what they expect of you.
What do you think the world should do differently from now?
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily treat men softer, because a tough guy will be a tough guy.
And you're used to be tough.
Yeah, your conditioning helps. It matters a lot too as well, but a human will always be a human. If you're not tough by nature, only extreme circumstances will make you tough. Don't make the guys who are not too tough have to be tough. That's another problem that guys go through. That forced machismo. That you have to always be that gangster guy and all that. You have to always... Some people are softer. Some people like to paint. Some people like to sing. I like the fact that now music is embraced. Back then, you say you want to sing. As a guy, you say you want to go and study broadcasting. They say mass comm is for girls.
Actually, yeah. I heard that.
Mass comm is for girls. Why? So many people's lives have been altered because they were told certain things that they liked were not things that men should do. Even though they're not things that are restricted to any particular person. So society needs to now understand that we need to listen to men more. When it comes to assault, there are so many jokes. You hear dropping the soap jokes, right? When it comes to male prison. What's that dude now? I forget his name. Bobrisky. Okay. Yeah, that guy. Or girl, I don't know. That person.
Bobrisky, that person.
Where he was, when it was announced that he was going to prison, those were the jokes that were going around. Though. Hey, don't drop the soap. Hey, he'll become somebody's wife. That's assault that they're talking about and they're laughing about. You can't make jokes like that about females. At all. A guy talks about how he was assaulted as a child, and people are making jokes about, now you be guy, I'm so jealous, and things like that. But that's trauma that somebody felt. But because he's a guy, nobody feels like that kind of thing should make a guy feel bad.
Do you think that men even feel that they should be treated in a softer way? Because I mean, you're diluting it and it seems like, oh, it's true. But then think about it. There are men who
like I said, the moment you express that you want to be treated better as a man, it triggers people. Like, I'll give you an example. I had a friend of mine. We were pretty close for a while. We got talking one day and she annoyed me. She said several things that annoyed me. And through the course of the conversation, I kept telling her, you are annoying me. And all that, cut it out. And at some point, I'm like, okay, I'm cool. I'm pissed now. Let it go. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's fine. I'll be cool. Just, let me be for a bit. Oh, no, that's right. And then she goes, I don't like the way your anger is making me feel.
Okay.
Allowing the guy feel better. Or trying to make him feel better. Or at least, okay, I'm sorry, let it be. But the women will try and twist your feeling around somehow. So somehow you're the one apologizing, even though you were the one that was offended. You can't tell a woman that I don't like the way you're treating me. They won't change. They won't do anything different about it. Right? They will get angry because you said that. But you expressed yourself. Would you express yourself again? It's things like that. Now, a lot of guys, like I said, guys don't even share these things with each other. It's rare. It's a recent thing. But I've spoken to a lot of people recently now with a more open mind. And I find out more and more and more how some of these things have really eaten at them and are still eating at them to these points. And barely any real interest is shown in how a guy feels.
Okay, I think the male folks are sitting up. I saw a program, I think 2 months ago in Port Harcourt here.
Yeah.
Someone did, I think, something about boy child advocate, something about
It's a gradual
I think
thing.
there was the program. So I think that they are beginning to understand that they've been told all the lies.
They've been neglected.
So I think the males
like
are
that.
coming up.
I'm not saying that there shouldn't be so much advocacy for women. Women need to be protected, but so do men.
The boy child.
Yeah. You can't allow somebody grow up feeling that he doesn't deserve protection. He is his own protection.
Could that be the reason why some males are becoming females?
That I can't understand. I can't explain, really. Maybe because they've seen the hard side of being a man and they see that, okay, it's a lot easier. And it seems a lot of them are successful. I don't quite understand why. And they're popular. And actually, it's confusing.
Because that's another thing. I mean,
now, they could actually just be playing characters and still just being successful. That just goes to show you that it's a bit easier to be successful as a woman.
Oh, well.
As a woman, you can just be beautiful and win a beauty pageant. As a man, you have to have muscles.
You have to carry
not just muscles, muscles.
Yes.
You can't just be pretty. You have to be fine. Now there are pageants for women who are also like plus size. There's pageants for every sort of woman. For man, you gotta be big and tough and beefy. But there's different kinds of men. Not everybody wants to be like that. Not everybody can ever be like that. Some will never attain that, no matter how much they work out.
Yeah.
Why make them feel uncomfortable about themselves for that?
Wow.
So yeah, it's a careful effort. I think the main effort should go into the kids that are growing up now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because with us, even with all the pressure and everything, we still had moral compasses. For me, I had a close group of friends, I call them my brothers, who helped me develop my moral code. And it's that moral code that I live by.
Yeah.
In connection with things I learned from the men in my life. I had some really strong men in my life. I had my dad, I had my uncle, Owunem, I had my uncle Enoma. I had different strong men. I had strong women too, but that's a different story. But I had strong men. Like with my dad, I learned a different side of things: patience, kindness, understanding, empathy. He always seemed like a very hard man, but he was more empathic than I thought. So as I grew older, I understood that. I had another uncle, Owunem. He taught me the practicality of life. Simple things like fishing or like hunting, things like that. Understanding, okay, what is this? Well, I don't know. He will explain it to you. And then from him, I learned how to pick up information from random places. Like anything you see has a story. He also told me about how machines work. That once you get the blueprint, you can build the machine. Those were positive role models in my life. A lot of dudes these days don't have that. So with all the pressure and everything that you're getting, you now don't have a positive role model there. When the pressure gets to you, that's why a lot of people turn to substance abuse. When I was growing up, the music was about people selling the drugs and all that. Now it's about them taking it.
Wow.
Because that's how a lot of them feel some sort of solace or something. It's wrong. But you can kind of understand where it comes from. And understanding and knowing is half the battle. If you understand where these issues with men come from, you can start solving them. But not too many people are taking the time to actually understand men.
What a day. When we talked about this topic, I didn't know you were going to bring all the emotions down to the
I didn't rehearse any of this. I'm surprised I still have stuff to say, but I'm talking from the heart, so I guess that's why it's easy.
Yeah, it's
based on observations
and
all of that. So I just think people should just try a little bit better to understand how guys are doing. Let that "how are you doing" not just be a question. Let it not just be a greeting. Actually take the time to understand how the guy is
then
doing.
Also speak to your fellow guys to learn to express themselves, because when they ask them how are you doing,
let me put it like this:
I am fine, thank you.
Learn the right people to express yourself to and the right way to express yourself to them, because some people you trust are not the right people to express yourself to.
But women, they don't
because
care.
Because it's like this, you are looked at as a strong leader and all of that. The moment you reveal certain things about yourself, some people might just indirectly, it might not be their intention, but they'll stop looking at you as strong. And
you're supposed to be seen as
strong in their eyes. You see the conundrum there. So you're somebody that's looking to you for protection. You're telling her that you have fears.
Let's talk about pressure. You were talking about high blood pressure and the rest of it. So, what are the practical things that could make a man get into pressure, especially if he doesn't even want to get married or have a child? Or do you even think men are pressured to get married or have a child?
From my observation, I don't think the pressure is that much. For me now, I'm getting the questions now. They're asking me, how far now? When I was 21, 20, I figured that when I get to my 30s, I'll be married with my 3 kids, my 5 dogs and everything. Life will be perfect, until life. I said, bro, relax. Wait for jump for like 3 years first. So it's those kind of things. But the pressure to marry is there for some men. It's there for traditional reasons. It's there for, I need to continue my lineage. It's there for things like that. There are the people who specifically want to start a family and all. I would like to start a family at some point too. I will not lie to you and all of you out there watching, I'm afraid. Because you see how hard it is right now for the average family man to live. And you worry about that being you. Worse still, when you see the average family man and he's with a woman that is not helping his life.
Wow.
It's a fear that a lot of men have, but they won't say it. The fear of ending up with somebody that will destroy you from the inside. It's still death do us part, right? And death comes quicker for men. Look at the mortality rates. Women can live to maybe the 70s. Men are expected to live to their 40s, 50s. The pressure. And a friend of mine said this once, and I hold it to heart, and I do it every single time I can. It takes a lot for a man to tell you that he's hungry. A man can tell you that, I need to fix my car, I need to do this, I need to do that. For a man to say, I'm hungry, he's at his lowest.
Actually.
And if a man comes to tell you I am hungry, help him. So even if I'm on the streets, I had somebody pass me the other day say, bros, I never chopped since yesterday. Because it's not something you play around with. Because as a man, nobody's going to give him that sympathy. Nobody's going to say, this guy has not eaten. They're going to say, go and find work so you can feed yourself.
Actually, yes.
But it's not that simple. Sometimes you need help. But the man is not entitled to help. He has to earn help. Think about that. You have to earn something as simple as help. But women, they're soft. They need to be taken care of. You have a beggar on this side as a woman. You have a beggar on the side as a man. Who do you think is going to get more money?
Of course, the woman.
They're both begging. They're both hungry. She has hands as well. Why doesn't she get a job? Equality. Yeah, there's that. So most men are afraid to get married. I would love to. I want to. But I don't even know where to begin. You see the prices of everything. You see the prices of transportation. You see the prices of all of these things and you start to worry. And as a man, men are thinking all the time. You're thinking all the time because you know that aside from taking care of yourself, that bride you want to marry, she ain't going to marry you. You're going to have to do a bunch of things. If you're fortunate enough to meet a woman who is not going to pressure you into doing certain things, then you're fortunate. If not, you meet a woman that wants you to go through the whole 9 yards. These days, introductions are almost like weddings. So you go through that, you go through trad, you go through the white, you go through all of these things. People know they give gifts for wedding again. Back then, weddings were an avenue for people to prepare other people for life. They give you gifts.
Family.
My parents probably still have their wedding gifts now that they've not used, some of them, because it was a lot. These days now, you come to a wedding, where are the gifts? But the bride and the groom have spent so much, so you start your married life in debt. So how do you work yourself around that? I have a way around that though. First of all, during my own wedding, when the time comes, hopefully my bride will agree. From the church, we will share meal voucher. Right? First of all, you have to come to the church. I don't understand this thing that people do these days. I went to this person's wedding. You didn't go to the church. You went to the reception. You didn't go to the wedding. I go to weddings. Sometimes I go to weddings and not the reception because the wedding is the wedding.
Yeah. So
from my wedding, they will share the meal voucher there. When you come to the reception hall, oh, no voucher, please come to this section. A small chop will get. People that came to church
I should agree that that's on the light.
There should also be the war. Oh yeah, of course. It's a bit of a joke, but I'm a bit serious as well. With the worries of marriage, people are not really preparing men and women to get married anymore like they used to. So there's now more pressure on the man to do the wedding of the woman's dreams and everything, and then start the life for her and all that and all that and all that. How much support? as a young guy, uni and everything, I have uncles, I have aunties. Hey, auntie this, uncle this, I need help. Help me. They'll help you. You get to a certain age, you can't say that anymore as a guy, but as a girl, you can. As a girl, you can. So what do you do when nobody is helping you? You have to help yourself. So there are those worries as well that keep a lot of people right now from wanting to get married. It's those worries that how will I survive? How will I take care of these other people? How? Next thing you know is morning. You don't know how you slept thinking how throughout the night. And for the rest of the day, you're thinking how.
And then your health is
It's just getting worse and worse. So the pressure is a lot. If people can find ways to reach out to the men around them and understand what they are going through in a non-invasive way, this would be one of the best ways to go about it. But like I said, one of the best things you can do for a man is be his peace. If you see that there's turmoil in his mind, don't add more turmoil. That extra turmoil of you asking, what is wrong with you? Oh, tell me what's wrong with you now. No. He doesn't need that. Sometimes just sit down there with him. When he's ready to talk, he'll talk. Do other things like, oh, would you like to eat? No, I'm okay. All right, cool. Leave him. Do you want this thing? No. Leave him. Eventually, the guy will open up. If you try and force a man to open up, he will just close tighter. Because he will not feel safe. Because like I said, most men feel like their vulnerabilities will be used against them, weaponized emotions. So they won't reveal any of that. So they'll keep it.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would not lie, it's been an emotional time here. I think that we've not given the males, we've not given them enough time.
I feel like you probably feel guilty about a few things as well. You're probably guilty of some of them as well.
Really, I'm a male advocate.
Okay.
Actually, I'm a
so
male
you've
advocate.
never, have you ever weaponized somebody's?
Never.
No.
Even
in anger, a boyfriend.
A boyfriend. Nah. I'm the calmest person you can ever be with. I
can agree to that.
Now.
But I believe if we dig really deep, that's why I say a lot of women don't even know.
No, I don't. I have brothers, and I realize that men have pains. Because you know what? A guy as your brother can actually express himself
more, yes,
than a random person out there. So when I see my own brothers go through challenges, I understand that another person's brother out there who is just a friend to me, he's also going through. So I realize that it's normal. So I'm a male advocate.
I'll allow you.
Oh, really? I'm a male advocate, and I think that we women, we all should, make life a little bit easier for men. Love them more, love them even if they do not have so much money. Women, we know ourselves, and celebrate them more. Care for them, and let's see if the world would not be a better place. Do you agree with everything Alan Bright has said? Do you disagree? All you need to do is to drop your thoughts and opinion on the comment section, and we'll continue from there. So yes, we are advocating for men. Men need to be loved. Men need to be cared. That's what I think, and I'm sure you think so too. So until we come your way next week for another edition of the Vibrant Talk series, all you need to do is to stay vibrant.